Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. I actually had the video recorded for Thursday, but then something happened. This happened! This is the Yudachi, the Tier 7 Japanese premium destroyer with deep water torpedoes. So, here's a long story short. Wasn't initially planning to get this ship, because I wasn't super excited about yet another Tier 7 Japanese destroyer, and Japanese destroyers in general, to be honest. But then, I remembered the hood, and I wasn't excited about the hood in the beginning until somebody talked me into it by getting me to ramble along as to what I'm thinking about the hood. And then I was looking closer at the stats of the Yudachi, and I was like, maybe the ship's interesting after all. And then I was talking to Ergo, and he actually said, I run into one of these things in my German destroyer, and I just sunk it. It's not actually that great. It can't torp you. It's weakly armored. So I was like, this sounds like a challenge. And maybe I can make this thing work by the stats of it. Maybe this isn't a bad ship. So, challenge accepted. By myself. I got myself the Yudachi. And here she is. She's a Shiratsuyu class destroyer. Now, if you're not familiar with the Shiratsuyu, she is the Tier 7 from the gunboat destroyer tech tree. So here we go. That's the Shiratsuyu. Shiratsuyu's got the engine axle. She's got 2 smokes. She's got 6 guns, 6 decent guns with a decent reload. The turret traverse is not great, as is usual for Japanese ships. And she's got 2 quad launchers of the 610mm torpedoes. 8 kilometer range, 66 knots, 3,500 base damage before upgrades. 67-second reload. So, all in all, like a bit more rounded up than, say, the Akatsuki, which is the standard tech tree destroyer, which only gets the engine accelerator, no smoke screens, which is a lot faster, and also has decent 127mm guns, but gets 3 torp launchers with a 50-second reload and a slightly shorter range, but more torpedoes. 1 more torpedo to be precise. So the gunboat destroyer line isn't all that gunboaty really. The Japanese destroyers don't actually have bad guns. It's just people mostly tend to forget that they have them. But let's get back to the Yudachi. So what is this thing like? Now, fully upgraded, she only has 12,000 hit points, just under 13. Is relatively low. She's weakly armored, poor damage reduction for a destroyer. She is not very fast. 35 knots is, again, and I have the same problem with the Kagero, is relatively slow for a DD. So you have to, make sure you know where you're going. She's maneuverable with a turn time of just over 3 seconds. This is almost as good as the Farragut, for example. She's got 6 main guns, 2 twin turrets and 1 single. They're not ideally positioned. So, for example, if you look at the ship and you shoot from the rear, you can get mostly just 2 guns firing. You shoot from the front, you get 2 guns firing. But they're not bad. They've got a 5.5 second reload. They do 380 high explosive damage with a 4% chance of setting fires, which isn't terrible. We've got the turret traverse up to 12 degrees. So while they're still not nearly as quick as the American destroyers in turning the turrets around, they're not also very bad. So while they're officially gunboat destroyers, they have very, very good torpedoes. And here comes the interesting bit, and this is what makes the Yudachi special. She also has 610mm torpedoes, 2 quad launchers, just like the Shiratsuyu. 70-second reload, so slower. They do more damage. We've got 4,300 alpha damage. That is a lot. She also has a torpedo range of over 9 kilometers. That is very long. And these torpedoes are very, very quick. They are probably about 10 knots faster than the standard Japanese torpedoes. She has some semi-decent anti-air, and I've got the concealment down to 5.4, which is a not a super stealthy value, but is on par with tier 7 destroyers. So what's so special about these torpedoes? Well, they're deep water torpedoes. That means you can't hit other destroyers with them. They're like, what's the point of these then? What are you gonna do when you run into a Mayhem? Well, I'll tell you what you do when you run into a Mayhem. You gun it down. You can't. If you hit a tier 7 destroyer, or if you meet a tier 7 destroyer, you can't torp these anyway, because destroyers are too maneuverable, and at tier 7 most people know what they're doing and can dodge torpedoes. I have won gunfights with Mayhems in this thing. Okay, admittedly they didn't really know what they were doing, but this is not impossible, right? So also it frees up your mind. And I'll show you what I mean later. Let's not get into too many details. But yes, they do a lot of damage, and they're very quick, and they're apparently stealthy. This isn't something we get to see in the actual stats. It's just something that it says in the description. Sorry, I think that was back here. Yeah, there we go. It says they're extremely stealthy and destructive, but cannot hit enemy destroyers. There's more detail to this as well. Anyway, so that's in a nutshell the Yudachi. But let's look at the ship skills. Now, she still has 2 engine accelerators. She has 1 smoke instead of 2 smokes, like on the Shiratsuyu. But she gets a torpedo reload booster. So twice in a battle, you can insta-reload 1 torpedo tube. And since you're in a destroyer and the torpedo tubes are all pointing in the same direction, you get basically 3 quad launcher spreads that you can fire. Now let that sink in. These are 9.3 kilometer torpedoes with a 4,300 alpha damage. They are super fast, and you can fire 12 of them. Let me show you something. Over in the tech tree, if we scroll all the way to the side, this is the Shima, the tier 10 destroyer. She has 15 610 millimeter torpedoes with a 4,100 unupgraded base, so probably about the same damage, or slightly more than what than what this ship can do. They've got a bit more range, but they're not nearly as fast. Okay, they're quite quick. They're almost 70 knots, but they're not 75 knots like this thing. So we are in a tier 7 destroyer. We have almost the same broadside hit that a Shima has if we use the reload booster. We can fire 12 torpedoes on target. You can one-shot battleships in this thing. She is an extremely heavy-hitting destroyer. So what do you need if you play her right? Because, well, she has these extremely powerful torpedoes. You can't use them against other destroyers, obviously. So let's go through the details of my setup, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. She has, in my setup, she has the main battery mode 1, because, well, you have to use your guns in this thing if you're meeting other destroyers, because this is all you can do. You cannot fire torpedoes at them. Nothing will happen. They will just pass underneath. So turret traverse is a must for me. I've gone with the propulsion mode because she's already quite maneuverable, and this really, you slam the brake on in this thing and she instantly stops. This is pretty well. And of course, I'm going for a full stealth build here, so I've got the concealment system mod, even though the speed would have been nice, but concealment is a must here, because I really want to get as close as possible that I can. She came out of the bundle, so she comes with the historical camo, so let's quickly go through what that gives us. It gives us more torpedo range, it gives us more torpedo speed, it increases the traverse, and it reduces the surface detection. So these are all excellent things that you really want to have. The supplies make sense for a DD. We have got the high-grade coal, obviously, to get the detection down lower. We've got reload, and we've got the ship speed and ship traverse. The commander, I'm sharing it with, I think, with the Kamikaze at tier 5. He's relatively fresh, so he's just got the standard torpedo sets. He's got the preheating skill, so you get off the ground faster, because what you really want to do in this ship is get into flanking positions, which is exactly what I like doing. But you really want to get into positions where you want to breach the enemy destroyer screen, and ideally the cruiser screen as well. And you want to get at the heavy slow targets. You want to get close to them, and you want to smash these massive torpedo broadsides into them. So preheating does help with that. I've got the Victorious Charge, which makes sense. Other things that will make sense for this are the Mistweaver, because you do get one smoke screen. It would be good to make it last longer. Not this one. The engine overload makes sense as well, because you do get the engine boost consumable. So these are all good skills to have, but as I said, I'll share that with another one because I'm running low on Japanese commanders, I think, at this point. So that's this ship in my personal setup. She's built for stealth, but she can hold her own in a gunfight. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. We've got Bayonne, New Mexico, Brooklyn, Twin Alba, another Yudachi on the on the enemy team, and a Fubuki on the enemy team. And we're on Golden Channel, so we're not going to go into the channel. This is not a dogfighting destroyer. We're going to go right flank in this, and we're going to do it as quickly as possible. So here we see we've got 5.4 kilometer concealment, which is decent. We're not going to be able to outspot everybody. Torpedo angles are good. The spreads are very wide. So this is the wide spread. You probably almost want the slim spread, because you have a really, really long range on this thing. So you do want to have the slim spread to get as many torpedoes as possible on target. I can't really say anything about the stealthiness of them, because I haven't been at the receiving end yet. But what I can say is they do hit very hard, and they don't hit destroyers. They don't just not hit enemy destroyers. They also don't hit friendly destroyers. So one of the interesting things I found you can do with this is if you're having a target that you're shooting at, and there's a friendly destroyer in the way, then what you can do is pretty literally just shoot under it, because it's not gonna get hit by it. Which normally torpedoes would just harmlessly bump off, but so let's kill this Alba. Let's see if one spread's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alba dead. Kaboom! That quickly. Now we're spotted probably by the dead Alba, but that should go away in a second. There we go. Now we want to stay out of range of that New Mexico. Has he paid attention? Probably not. So one spread out, reload booster, second spread out. And we're just going to sail away and be stealthy from here on. No, we got spotted. Let's see if he's reacting. Oh, not really. He's taking a couple of those. Only 3. But now he's pointing the guns in the other way, so I'm just going to skirt around here and start opening fire on this thing. There's a Brooklyn. So I'm going to have to be careful. I'm just going to use my smoke at this point. My torpedoes are still on reload. I'm going to use my smoke to disengage. That's double permafire. So we're just waiting for my torps to come off reload, because now the Brooklyn's firing at us. Almost off reload. Capture the target area. Need backup. So we just stop shooting. We're gonna go dark, and I'm just gonna shoot straight up the line here. That should be the end of the New Mexico if he keeps sailing in a straight line. And I'm just gonna try and get myself undetected, because that Brooklyn is still hunting me. Yeah, I don't think he learned his lesson. No, he didn't. And boom, 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 skadoosh. There he goes. And already we're just over half the battle in, and we've done 53,000 damage. Now our torpedo reload is almost off cooldown, and still our team's losing. So let's use the engine boost again, and just head back towards the cap and see if we can... Brooklyn is disengaging. Well, let's see if we can do something about how much health does the battleship have left there. What is that? He's way out and there's another destroyer. Where are the other two DDs? No idea. Well, no one's around here, so I'm gonna head back into the cap circle. Oh, there's one. In the meantime, my torpedoes can reload. And where's... Brooklyn's out of torp range. He's completely gone over there. So, the Bayern still has a decent amount of health. Is the Brooklyn going outside? Yes, he's going outside. Why am I spotted? That's unfortunate. I don't want to be spotted. There's a Fubuki over there. Okay. Looks like I'm going to have to fight this one. So, make sure the Brooklyn doesn't kill us. Okay. And looks like we're going to have to kill someone. Brooklyn is sitting around over there. Still hasn't gotten his bearings. I'm just gonna send one... Is he staying there, literally? I'm just gonna send one spread his way, just in case he is. Oh, damn it. Run aground. Pull the knot, sir. No, he's not. Yeah, I figured he wouldn't stay. So, can we point at the Bayern? Where's the Bayern going? Is he going straight? Well, we don't have much time left, so let's assume he is. And just get 2 torp loads out at him. And see if we can set him on fire. Oh, there's the Brooklyn again. No, still can't hit me from there. And there's the Fubuki. So, the Fubuki would have run into our torpedoes, but, well, we can't hurt the Fubuki. And the Bayern's actually paying attention. That's unfortunate. So he's only taking... Did he take 2 or something? Yeah, we don't think we can... My torpedoes aren't going to come off reload in time. So, unfortunately, there's not much more we can do at this. Brooklyn's still firing at me. Well, you just play a bit with speed and these things can't hit you from a distance. I might have gotten to go a little bit closer to the Bayern. I might have been able to get some more torps into him. But, these torps would have probably gotten him. Yeah, I think we lost that one, did we? Wasn't paying attention in the end. Yes, we lost that one. Well played on that enemy Fubuki. Whatever he did, it worked. But this is what you can do with this ship. You can do 68,000 damage without much problem. And this fire damage wasn't even on bots. So you can use the guns. These torpedoes are murderous. And you can do a lot of damage. Basically, almost twice as much damage, more damage than the 2 next ones in my team after me. Let's do that again, and do another one. Okay, what do we got? We've got a carrier that's unfortunate. Fortunately, it's a bot. Double Atlanta. Ugh. We're bottom tier. Okay. Let's see what we can do. And we're playing Haunted Seas. I don't get that very often. This is an interesting map. I haven't played it. I played it once or twice by now, maybe. Not much more than that. So, let's head into... Where are we going to head? Shall we pass by B Cap? And then go up north, maybe? Okay.
Capture area B.
Yep.
Capture area A.
I'm on it. I'm not so sure about A, but B we can. So I'm going to go a bit more central because I figure... I don't know what's going to happen over in C-Cap. There are 2 DDs over that way, but I don't know where they're going to focus. Are they coming around this way through A, or are they coming around up north? So let's just kind of head over here. There's a battleship spotted. So, okay. Can we get this guy in range and just do some long distance drops on him while he's just moving forward? Oh, there's an Akka. Okay, unfortunate. I don't want to drop the Akka, I want to drop that guy. And he's not coming over here. Okay, since we're here, we might as well get into a gunfight with the Akatsuki.
Enemy team captured the area.
Okay, he's probably going after the bot. Nope, not having any of that. But look at the guns on this thing. Don't underestimate the guns on her. And she's dead. Okay, which way are we going around? Shall we just drop this? That's a bot Colorado. I think... Okay, let's just go this way around. And see if we can drop someone from here quickly before we're gonna head over there, because the carrier seems to be here as well. That's the Scharnhorst torping. So, can we drop the Sharny? Just gonna drop one on the bot Colorado. Smoke up. Do a torp reload. That's the Colorado. And the Sharny is moving. So we're gonna drop the second one on the Sharny over there. So the first one should hit her. Square in the side, does flooding, controls the flooding, and there comes the second spread that I've shot ahead, because he started moving forward. Come give me another flooding. Oh, really? That would have been so neat. Okay, but we've done enough damage to the Scharnhorst that we can probably the rest of our team. And that's a permafire. Oh, that Sharny torps. No, that's not cricket. Gonna take one. Yeah, took one. Well played, sir. Okay, he's dead. Now what are we going to do? Who's left? Okay, I'm going to just go after the CV at this point, because although the Bismarck's probably is going to beat me to it. There's not much left else to do. Everybody else seems to be dead. So, well, that was a good opening. I did some really decent drops onto these ships. As the two Atlantis are left and the CV. Okay, I'm just gonna start firing at the CV. I'm not gonna drop him from here. Where's he going? Is he coming this way around? He's probably gonna come this way around, isn't he? No, he's going the other way. Okay, can deal with that. Now I can't shoot under the Bismarck because the Bismarck is a battleship. So if I drop, I'm pretty sure if I drop him, the torps are gonna actually hit him. It's probably not even worth it. I'm just gonna go for the Atlanta, honestly. Where's the Atlanta going? Let's get... I should be able to one-shot the Atlanta. So let's get one spread out and then get close. So there's another Atlanta. I still have the reload. Is that gonna hit the Atlanta? That should be able to hit the Atlanta. Oh, it was just two of them. Okay, I'm going to take the other Atlanta on, because that should do that one. So that's torps out, reload, torps out, and off behind the island. I don't think he's even paying attention, so he should be dead. Skadoosh. You see, this is what I mean. This is why I love this ship. She has a brutal torpedo spread. She does an enormous amount of torpedo damage. And honestly, the deep water torpedoes against destroyers being a problem, I don't see it as a problem, right? Because a lot of times when you're fighting DDs, what you're doing is you're actually not using your guns, because you're concentrating on how can I get a torpedo spread such that the other guy is going to run into it. And that's not a problem in this ship, because you can't. So you've got your mind free to say, oh, if I fight another DD, all my concentration goes into just keeping the guns on him, keep firing, and dodge his torps. Right? So you're playing with speed a lot more. You're dodging, you're maneuvering, you're doing all kinds of dogfighting in this thing, actually, if you're up against enemy destroyers. And they tend to underestimate you, because they're like, oh, it's a Yudachi, she's not having torpedoes that can hit me, she can't one-shot me. I can actually deal with this thing. And they tend not to take you seriously. I've been up against a Mayhem team, and I've sunk one and almost sunk the other before she got me. The guns are good on this thing. So she is really an amazingly fun ship in my book. She is super great to play. The torpedoes hit extremely hard. They are very fast. so they are actually relatively easy to get on target. They're harder to dodge for big ships. And for against destroyers, you just keep using your guns. So, is she unique in the game right now? Yes. I don't think there's any... I don't know if there's going to be other ships with deep water torpedoes. I would have to check the PC version if there are other ships having deep water torps. There probably are, so maybe we get a deep water torp line at some point. Right now, she's a premium with a unique skill of these heavy-hitting, very fast torpedoes. She plays amazingly well, in my opinion. Bottom tier, top tier doesn't matter. I've had games where I couldn't get anything done. If you get spotted, you get hunted down, fine. But she is super dangerous with the amount of damage she can dish out with the torpedoes. And you've just seen it, right? Dropped one load into the Atlanta, and then just drop 2 more spreads into the other Atlanta. You can one-shot almost everything you're going to encounter in this thing. With the three torpedo spreads you can shell out. So, to me, she's great fun. If you're a DD player and you like Japanese DDs and you like you want to have a premium, this thing's fun. I give you that. She's not cheap, given that she's a tier 7. So, but to me, I would say she's about as much fun as The Sims, and that says a lot. The Sims is one of my favorite ships in this game. This thing is great. I love her. As always, it's up to you if you want to spend the money for the premium. She is not required to win a battle. She's not guaranteed to win you a battle. Premium ships never are. You don't get an unfair advantage over your enemies. You still need to know how to play this thing. You still need to be confident in your torpedo dodging skills, because you will face off against destroyers and they will just take you down otherwise. You have to keep maneuvering. You have to be able to actually dodge gunshots in this thing. She doesn't have much health. She's not very sturdy. She's not super fast like the Soviet ones. So you have trouble disengaging if you get too close. And so map awareness is required. But if you're a good player and you can do all those things and you enjoy the Japanese line, she's a very, very fun addition to that line. So, sorry for the shift around, and you'll probably get a bit of a weird intro in the video that I was expecting to have on Thursday, and that's going to be coming out on Saturday instead. But or on Sunday, I'll see when I get finished with rendering. But I think it was worth the detour. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.